Alright, so I'm going to continue on and trying to finish this up quickly. Alright, as you can see, we have these two models here. And I've gone up to the L-Flesh. Now, if you want, you can do another straight highlight of L-Flesh, but this one you're just going to basically hit the bridges of the nose and just really just barely use it. And just go over the really raised areas that you want to have a highlight of there. So, taking that into account, we are going to skip it because that's really up to you if you want to do absolute highlights on the browns, right? Or I'm sorry, not the browns, but the skin tones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change brush and go with the all three, the spotter. Well, not spotter, but it's a light brush, and just kind of thin this out. This is a little bit more of the doesn't seem to be wanting to work with me. Maybe I need different kind of paints. This one doesn't seem to be working with me. Yeah, this one doesn't seem to be working with me very well. There we go. That's a really dark brown color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I like the fact that it's a light wash now, since I've added so much water to it. I wish it was a little bit thicker. It wouldn't take so long, and I won't have to do the washes on this brown, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure if I add something else that's not as... that I don't have to water down, it would look thicker upon application. And remember, you don't have to worry about getting the base. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly what we did with the skin. I guess I don't have to go through the whole thing. But remember, paint the splatter, so you don't want to go too fast. And you want to be careful where you apply it. I wish this was thicker, because this one is just coming out more of a wash now. Right. So just put it on here. Sorry, I was being a little bit silent there. I guess I was concentrating. I don't know if you can actually... There we go. Right. You hit that with some of the light here. Make sure you can see the model. Right, so this part is actually more of a wash. If it wasn't, you'd see the darker color on there, and we can move along faster. But it seems like I will have to wait for this, or I will have to go in on a darker color and then move into the light much faster. So maybe if I did that. So I give it something that's I've worked with a little bit more, which is black, and then I mix it in with the brown here. It'll make it a little bit thicker. Remember, a little bit black goes a long way because it's very overpowering, just like the white. A little bit of white goes a long way. Right. So I'm going to go in here. It's not the same model, but let me see if it works. Yeah, see, that's much better. It goes directly onto the paint, and it's not a wash. It's just a straight paint job on here. Still a little watery, but it's much better than it was before. Right, so as you basically apply it, you're going to figure out what color, what you're going to do, because there's different colors of browns that you can use, like this leatherish color that you want. That's really what I want to keep for my actual boots, or whatever I'm using to as my boot color. Right, so you just put it on there. You can be generous with it, just be careful not to hit your cape or anything else that you want green, because otherwise you're going to have to go over it. Right? Remember, whatever you're painting, you have to remember what's surrounding it, because whenever you have light reflecting off of green, sometimes you get a greenish kind of hue to whatever color you're looking at, which can alter the way you see things. Right? So just keep that in mind. That does happen. Right? So some of the shadows, which we did for like a dark greenish color, it's fine. Just leave it there, because sometimes, you know, the light plays tricks on you. You get a bouncing off of a green color, and you think something is greenish when it might not actually be. And you know, that's just how things work. So that's just how sometimes the colors work. Right? So you see there, it's got the brown on the boot. And you're going to go along, and remember, we're supposed to be doing this assembly line style. So as you go along, you want to make enough paint, or you can go along and do this to like 10 models. Right? Which is why I don't want to do too much on the wash, because a lot of the other stuff we did washes, layers of paint. You can still use a wash, but I'm sorry, I meant layers of paint. You don't want to do too much layering on these simple parts. You know, you want to do that and take your time on the more specific areas. So as I was saying before, the boots I want to do dark brown, but some of the other stuff I want to do lighter. So I'm just going to skip the boots, and then just go in there and add maybe some white. I'm going to add white over here to this side. Right, remember, see, a little bit of white goes a long way. Now this is really dark, so I'm going to take some of this black here and mix it in here, so it gives it a little bit more of a darker color. Right, so this is more of the ashy color that I was talking about, and it would be perfect to paint your bow this kind of color, like a makes it kind of a unique color bow. This might be a little bit too thick, but it's basically this general idea that you want. You don't want layers, but you want a thin, even coat all the way across. So you just go across there and you paint the whole thing. Paint the whole bow, whatever color it is you want. And as you go back, you can paint the rest of it. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time. I have other things I have to do today. That was what the phone call was about. It's a reminder. So I will have to leave you here, and believe that you guys can finish it on your own. Remember, you can always add more whites, more black, or even if you want, you guys can add different colors and just go crazy and say add a yellow, right, which will give you more of this brownish kind of, not mustard quite color, but it's a different color that you can get. So you want to make sure you mix that in so you don't have really streaks, but you have this other brownish kind of color which you can mix in there. So remember, you can experiment, you can look up online, you can find different kind of colors and what they come out to when you mix them together. But don't be afraid to mix the colors if you don't have the actual colors that you're looking for, or the specific colors that you've bought, like the gradation between the tan flesh, the dwarf flesh, and the elf flesh. If you don't have the browns to go from a dark brown to a lighter brown, then you can just go ahead and mix it in with different colors and get different shades of brown. Or you can go out and buy, 3 different colors: brown, a dark brown, a medium brown, and a light brown, and then just go ahead and use those on your models. It's a lot easier that way. You don't have to mix anything. I actually would recommend it, especially if you're starting out and you're painting. Otherwise, you could do things like this. You're painting the leather, and then go up to a brown or a tan or a skull kind of color, a bleach bone kind of colorish look to it. Maybe it's a khaki kind of color you mix in with the brown, and it comes out a real good shade for leather, or skulls and things like that. So next time we come around, we'll have this brown done, and these boots and leather will be finished, so you can see how it came out. But I am going to leave you here. These are the videos for doing flesh and doing leather. So next time we come on here, we will have these models, and we will be doing what looks like I don't know, I guess we can do the hair, or you can paint the hair whatever color you want. You learn some of the techniques. You just use like you did with the face, get in the darker areas with the darker color, and then as you go up to the raised surfaces, you do it lighter, right? And then you do the highlights, and that's pretty much it. All right, so until next time, everybody, stay up. All right, take care, and we'll see you in our next video.